宣公上人于1989年万佛圣城举办盂兰盆法会时开示，从目连尊者的五眼六通谈到所有众生都有成佛的机会。在开示之前，上人首先介绍负责翻译的恒实法师。
又发了一个护法愿，这个护法愿嘛，就是从洛杉矶3步一拜，拜到万佛城，经过2年零9个月，在期间，达到他的目的地。到了目的地，我给他讲什么法呢？就是讲的要不争不贪不求不自私不自利不打妄语。那么给他讲这个，到现在他是不是这样的，我还不敢保证。
Before I begin my actual talk, I'd like to introduce the person who's translating. He went to University of California, Berkeley, and got a master's degree. But before he did that, before he left the home life, he lived like a huckster, like a medicine peddler, called Jianghu. He was an astrologer and told fortunes for people. And his girlfriend was the vice president of the Coca-Cola company. And they were just about to get married, but I don't know quite what happened, but it didn't come off. They didn't get married after all. Instead, he came to Govan Monastery and left the home life. And then he made a very unusual vow, a strange vow to the city of 10,000 Buddhas in Los Angeles. And the process took 2 years and 9 months to completion. And when he got here, there was only one thing that he heard, which was not fighting, not being greedy, not seeking, not being selfish, not wanting personal advantages.
摩诃目犍连当初他修行成道业了，成道业他得到五眼六通。什么叫五眼？五眼就是有佛眼，佛眼呢，是无所不见，无所不知，也就是正法眼藏的一个表现。那么又有天眼，又有慧眼，又有肉眼，又有法眼。有这么一首偈颂，说的是大概的意思，说出来，说是佛也天眼通非暗，天眼通它是能上观一切诸天，下观一切诸地，中看一切诸人，什么都能看得见。所以天眼通非暗，肉眼爱非通。这个肉眼并不是你我在面部上这2个肉眼，而是另外有一个肉眼。什么叫肉眼呢？肉眼它是看有形有相的，它都看得见。你看天眼它是只能看天上，能看这无形无相的，它能看得见。肉眼它能看见有形象的东西，而不是像天眼那么通。所以说天眼通非暗，肉眼爱非通。肉眼是能看见有障碍的这个东西，法眼为观虚法眼是看虚的，是看一切的秩序的这个道理，它都能看得出来。慧眼了中真空，慧眼就能明白真空实相的离体，它能以不 成佛的机会。只要你肯修行，你肯用功努力，你肯做善事，你肯诸恶不作，众善奉行，你要能这个样子，你就有成佛的机会。他能这样子，他也有成佛的机会。无论任何人、任何的众生，能你呀这样子都能有成佛的机会。什么样子？诸恶不作，众善奉行。人人要知道，诸恶不作，众善奉行了，那是世界太平啊，世界大同啊，彼此之间也没有纷争，也没有一切的那不愉快的事情发生。所以咱们人人要明白佛法了，明白佛法，那是这个世界就是一个佛教的世界，世界才能太平了。所以我希望咱们把这个佛法去宣布到每一个角落去，每一个微尘里头去，对每一个众生都得到佛光普照，雨露均沾。这是无眼的功能。
This is the Buddhist festival where we memorialize an event that happened in the past. Ulamana means Sanskrit. It is a Sanskrit word which means to set free those who are hanging upside down. Now, hanging upside down must be a very painful event. What does this mean? It means that we go and set free living beings who are suspended, hanging upside down. Their heads are pointing down and their feet are pointing up. They're suspended there. Now, Mahamahayana, the venerable monk, had just accomplished his karma, his work in the way. His work of cultivation had come to success. And he had, because of this, he attained the 5 spiritual eyes and the 6 spiritual penetrations, the 6 psychic powers. There's a brief verse that describes these 5 eyes. And I'll give you a rough approximation of that verse now. The Buddha eye is one of these 5 eyes, and there's nothing that the Buddha eye doesn't see. When somebody accomplishes the Buddha eye, this is simply a manifestation of a representation of this person's accomplishment of the proper Dharma eye treasury. The proper Dharma eye treasury. So the verse goes like, the other 4 eyes beside the Buddha eye are the heavenly eye, the wisdom eye, the flesh eye, and the Dharma eye. So these 5 make up the 5 spiritual eyes. The first line of this verse goes, with the heavenly eye, we penetrate through and meet no obstruction. That's to say, when somebody has the power of this heavenly psychic eye, they can see all of the heavens above. Everything in the heavens is visible to them. They can see everything going on down below in the earth and in the hells. What's more, everything that's really happening with people here between, they can see. The second line goes, the flesh eye is obstructed and doesn't, or it sees what is obstructed and does not penetrate. Now, it's called a flesh eye, but we shouldn't mistake it for the eyes that are in our head, the 2 eyes that everybody has. It's not this flesh eye, it's another one. This flesh eye is able to see all things that have a shape or an appearance. The heavenly eye is different. The heavenly eye sees things that have no appearance, things that are invisible. That's what appears to the heavenly eye. But the flesh eye sees things that are obstructed, that is to say they have a form and a shape to them. So the flesh eye sees all things with shape and form. The third verse goes, the Dharma eye sees only the common. Now this is talking about the common truth, the ordinary understanding of reality that all people share. The Dharma eye understands this perfectly. The fourth line goes, whereas the wisdom eye understands understands true emptiness. As a contrast to this common truth that everyone understands, the wisdom eye sees the true substance, actual nature of all things. This is the sagely truth that is visible to the wisdom eye. So, both wonderful existence, true existence, and wonderful emptiness, in all its fine and subtle and also coarse aspects, are visible to the wisdom eye. Then the final verse says, but the Buddha eye shines like 1,000 suns. The Buddha eye is as brilliant as 1,000 suns appearing in the heaven. It shines down on all things whatsoever. It shines down and illuminates the basic substance of all of us. Now this basic substance is all living beings. This is because every living being has the Buddha nature, and everyone can become a Buddha. This is not to say that I can become a Buddha and you can't, or you can become a Buddha and I can't, or he becomes a Buddha and we can't. None of those is true. In fact, every living being has an opportunity, has a chance to become a Buddha. The only requirement, all we have to do, is to cultivate the way, to do good deeds, to establish merit and virtue, to do no evil, but to offer up every good deed. If you do it, you can become a Buddha. If I do it, I will become a Buddha. If he does it, if they do it, he and they will all become a Buddha. We all have that opportunity. The only requirement is that we avoid all evil whatsoever and do all good deeds. Now, if every person in the world knew how to do this, to do all good, and resolutely stop doing evil, then this world would be the great concordance. This would be the great commonwealth right here on earth. It would appear before us, a world where no one struggles, a world completely free of strife, a world where no one was unhappy. This would be a world where everybody knew the Buddha Dharma. This would be a Buddhist world. When we can all do that, we will live in a Buddhist world. So, my wish is that we take the Buddha Dharma and spread it to every single village, every town, every hamlet, every mote of dust, and to every heart of every living being on the entire planet.
智慧通，以前呢叫神通，我叫的叫神通啊，又有点呢不神。这智慧通啊，人人呢都可能有的。你要说要神通呢，有人呢就妄想轻他了，说那是神通，回者呀是一种回有回无的，我也没有证实。那么所以呀，我不相信。那么智慧呢，谁都有智慧。这个智慧通呢，叫第一天眼的智慧通。有天眼的智慧呀，你能以上观33天，下观18层地狱你这是天眼的智慧通。有天耳的智慧通你这个聪明到极点，天上的一切声音一切的事物你都会听得到天人说话你也听得到那么说我不相信这个，你不相信，现在你看世界打电话，那个有线电有无线电怎么搞的？离得那么远就可以通话这就都是人的智慧的表现。那么智慧将来你通到天上去了，那就天耳通天眼通了又有他心通，他心通也叫他心智慧通你有他心智才能有他心通，你要没有他心的智慧，你就没有他心通。他心的智慧就是你呢在心里所想象的，你要说什么呢，他早就知道 这叫取命通。就有神足通，神足通也就智慧到极点了。你有这个真正那个智慧那就神足通了。还有漏尽通，因为你有智慧，所以你一切的习气毛病都去没有了，所以你没有一切的漏了，这叫漏尽通。这个六通都是由智慧来支持它。你要没有智慧，一通也不通那你要有智慧，一通一切通无所不通，无所不明。你要明不懂得这个了，万事万物都是在那说法，法尔入世。
Agreed. Maybe it exists and maybe it doesn't exist. We don't have any tangible proof of it. But wisdom is something that gains universal approval. Everybody likes wisdom, and everybody can have wisdom. So if we call it wisdom powers, then it's within everybody's grasp. We can all understand. The first of these 6 wisdom powers is the wisdom power of the heavenly eye. When a person has the functioning of this wisdom power of the heavenly eye, above they are able to see to the heaven of the 33, the Triascretia heaven, everything that's going on there. Below, they can see down to the 18th level of the hells. This is the deepest of the hells, and everything in between is visible to them. When a person has the wisdom power of the heavenly ear, that person is as smart as he can be, as wise as she can be. That's why the wisdom ear, the wisdom power of the heavenly ear comes forth. When you have this wisdom power, then you can hear absolutely everything. You can know what the gods in heaven are saying. You can listen in to their conversation if you want to. Now, somebody's saying, oh, I don't believe that. You don't believe it? Well, let's look at this world. Do you believe in telephones? With telephones, we can have a conversation with someone all the way across the planet. We have radios. We have wireless communications, wireless telephones now. These are all manifestations of human wisdom. So how is it so strange to assume that there would be a wisdom power of the heavenly ear? Just wait until we're born up into the heavens, and we'll know that this wisdom power of the heavenly ear was right all along. Now, the third of these wisdom powers is the wisdom power of knowing others' thoughts. When you have the wisdom power of knowing others' thoughts, then you can know not only what other people are thinking, but you can know even before they say it what's going on in their minds. How is this possible? It's because you have the wisdom power, the penetration of others' thoughts. Now, the fourth is called the wisdom power of knowing past lives. We only know what happened in this life. The events of a single life are what we can know about. But if you have the wisdom power of knowing past lives, then what happened to you in the last life, you can know. And what happened to you in lives before that, you can also know. What happened to you in life before life before life, extending back all the way to limitless, boundless numbers of lives in the past. You can be extremely clear and know exactly who you were and what you did in limitless numbers of life past, once you have this wisdom power. The fifth is called the power of the complete spirit. Now, this is also a wisdom power. How do you get it? When you have wisdom to the ultimate point, if you're wise to the extreme, then this power is yours. It's available to you. The sixth and last is called the wisdom power of the ending of all outflows. All outflows come to an end at this point. Why? Because we have wisdom. All our bad habits and all our faults are gone when we have this wisdom power. So, these are the 6 wisdom powers from now on. We've given them a new name. And you have to have wisdom to support them. When we have wisdom, then they come forth. Without any wisdom, then we won't have even one. There won't be a single wisdom power that is ours to use. But when wisdom comes forth in us, there's nothing at all that we don't penetrate through. There's nothing we don't know. We are omniscient. We understand absolutely everything. What is it we understand at that point? We understand that the 10,000 creatures, the myriad things, all of the different phenomena of nature are speaking the Dharma for us. What are they saying? They say the Dharma is just that way.
现在口里就变成火炭，因为它业力所感，它罪业太重了，所以好吃的东西也变成了以这个猛火火炭来烧它，因为这个它就没有办法了去求佛救他母亲，那么佛就叫他。 请十方大德高僧，在这个7月15这一天是佛欢喜日，生字之时，来供养十方大德高僧。那么请十方大德高僧怜悯他的母亲，使令他母亲出离地狱之苦，而避水升天。 这是每年举行这盂兰法会这一个功能，就能救度现在地狱一切的恶鬼都可以离苦得乐，了生脱死。那么今天这个话我就说这么多。我希望各位都多多学习智慧，学习智慧，然后再广度众生，令这个世界的人类都有智慧，都不愚痴。那么世界人类都有智慧，不愚痴了，世界谁也不会再去战争了，谁也不会再去杀人放火吸毒做种种这个违法犯罪的事情了。所以世界和平世界安宁在每一个人的身上，咱们都有责任，不要把这个责任推诿给他人。今天借着这盂兰法会，我希望人人以天下为己任，人人以推广佛教，那么救度众生为我们的天职义务。
So the Venerable Mahayana cultivated the way and attained these 5 eyes and the 6 spiritual penetrations. He used the 5 eyes and the 6 wisdom powers. He then, using these powers, saw that his mother had fallen into the hells. She was there as a hungry ghost. Why had she fallen? The reason was because she liked to eat meat. She especially enjoyed eating seafood, and it wasn't such a bad thing that she would eat the seafood. The worst part of it was that she liked to eat caviar. And when she ate caviar, which is made up of little fish eggs, each meal she would consume tens and hundreds of thousands of small lives. So the offenses that she created by eating this caviar so often caused her to fall into the hells. Her son, Venerable Mahayana, wanted to save her. So, using his wisdom powers, he got together a meal of food and sent it down to his mother. Now, we know that in the hells, where you're a hungry ghost, there's simply nothing to eat. That's the suffering, that's the pain that you endure. And when Mahayana sent the meal down to her, she took it and behaved just like a ghost, like a person starving to death. Now, in fact, it was food, but before she could eat it, just as she put it into her mouth and wanted to swallow down this meal her son had sent her, it turned into blazing coals and burned her mouth, so she couldn't swallow it. Why did this happen? It happened because of her karma. Her karma was simply too heavy, so what was originally good food turned into flaming coals, and it It's also known as the day of the Buddha's rejoicing. Call all the monks together from all 10 directions to together pity your mother so that she can go free from the pain that she's experiencing in the hells, and so she can be reborn there in the heavens. Now, that's what happened, and every year, ever since, we've convened the Ulamana Assembly to bring together, to amass the power in the way of all the cultivators, and to rescue all those ghosts who are suffering grievously down in the hells. So, that's all I have to say to you today, and I hope that each and every one of you will study wisdom so that you can have real wisdom and that you can take across all living beings. Once everybody in the world has wisdom, then no one will ever again do stupid things. Nobody will ever again go to war. Nobody will make it their business to kill other living beings. We won't kill, we won't set fires, and we won't use drugs. We won't do all the many illegal things that people too often do. We won't do the immoral things that people do. Instead, we will make this a peaceful world. This vision is in our grasp. It's up to us. Every one of us has this responsibility on our person. It is our own personal responsibility, not something that you can very easily pass off to others. So please don't shirk your responsibility. Do a really good job. Cultivate the Buddha Dharma, make spreading the Dharma my own duty, save living beings, and adopt this as your heaven-given responsibility.
现在讲话这位呢是普吉利的博士，要法界大学的教授，叫恒田法师。
Forgot to introduce the previous speaker who used to be a star of TV program, and she was able to put it all down and leave a home life. And she's been a nun for over 10 years. She has a master's degree from Stanford University and a PhD from Governor Buddhist University. And the present speaker has a PhD from University of California, Berkeley, as a professor at Governor Buddhist University. Today's very important because we have a chance to really concentrate on the practice of filiality and remember to be filial with our parents. And it's by cultivation that you can really repay your parents' kindness. It says that when a single son or daughter accomplishes the way, then 9 generations are reborn in the heavens. And there's more to it than that, because filiality is the basis of virtue. As Confucius says, are not filiality and fraternity the basis of humaneness? That is the foundation for being humane. And so if people can learn to develop their basic filiality, then all the other virtues will follow in accord. And then the world can return to a peaceful world. Because what happens in the world these days is that people forget their origin and they grasp at the branch tips. But to be filial is to return to one's basic, repay God's kindness. 今天是特别重要，因为是特别孝顺父母的一天。孝顺父母就受到了为真保承诺，所以有一句说，意思成道就在上天。真会保承诺，可是不但是这个，是那个小道，是所有的道德的根本。孔子说，小企业者，其为人之本也。这所有的道德从孝顺父母而来，所以现在的世界人读书就忘本居末，可是我们国家就要还本，所以要纪念要记得孝顺父母，世界就会归去有道德的世界会和平。
用中文讲，穆罕默德念尊者，他是属于印度的，印度也是注重孝道的一个国家。他成道以后，第一件事情他要做是要度一度他过去 去的父母。那么这个故事就是母亲人救助母亲。这个故事到了中国来，因为中国也是注重孝道的一个国家，所以因为这个故事很会感动人，所以佛教很快就普遍在中国。现在佛教正在西方一个开始。我们在语量学校培德中学，第一件事要教小孩子怎么样孝顺父母。前几天就陪着这个小学的一个教授来访问一个家长，他的儿子他是当地的人，他的儿子是已经读过几个礼拜的这个暑假班，是几个月，是3个月的训练在我们的学校。这个妈妈她怎么说？她说：“我今天我愿意我的儿子继续在你们佛教的学校里面读书，为什么呢？因为他真正改变了。他以前我叫他做什么，他什么都不干了，他就是要驳嘴，他总有话对我说，他什么都不听。他现在我就说一句，他赶快去做，收拾他自己的房间，陪床单呢，他都敢干，就是为你们的教育，我很感激你们的。所以虽然美国不一定是懂得孝顺，可是慢慢有这种的自然的情形了，这个小孩子真正改变了，所以呢，将来美国西方也可以做一个佛教的国家，都以孝顺为根本。The Venerable Mahatma Gandhi accomplished the way, and India was a very filial country that believed in filial respect. And the first thing that he did as a native Indian was, and a Buddhist disciple, was to look around with his way eye to save his mother and his parents. Now, this story has moved many, countless hundreds of thousands and millions of people over the years. And when it came to China, because China was already a country that stressed filial respect, the Chinese very quickly adopted Buddhism, largely because of the story of Mahatma Gandhi and his filial respect for his parents. Now Buddhism has come to the West, and it's genuinely begun here in the West. And Buddhism spreads here in the West by means of education. Now, America is not necessarily a country that understands filial respect, but I believe slowly, bit by bit, we will. Why? The other day I attended an interview with the faculty of our Instilling Virtue School and Developing Virtue, our Instilling Goodness School and Developing Virtue School. He was interviewing a parent and her child who had come to study. Now, the boy had already been through 3 or 4 months of summer school program. And the woman said, this is the grandmother, she said, I want my boy to continue to study in your schools. Why? Because he's really changed. Every time I used to tell him to do something, he would refuse. Either that or he would give me the lip, you know. She said, but now, ever since he's been to your school, he's different. I tell him to do something one time, and he goes and does it. Now, it may be kind of sloppy, but he goes and does it anyway, and he never talks back. He's really changed, and it's all because of your Buddhist education. That's what she said. So this being a true life story of the kind of changes that happen when we hear about filial respect, I believe that filial respect will become as important in America as it was in China and India. And for this reason, Buddhism will spread and grow fast and great in America.
现在我们请我们来的贵宾，李梅博士，跟大家讲几句话。
谢谢各位宣化上人、宣化师傅。我今天很幸运到这里来看课程，我第一次来访问，然后来拜访宣化上人，还有各位朋友在这里，教授、校长。今天呢，我头一次来，我觉得这个感应很好。前几天我跟中报的社长顾小姐，觉得有一个很好的感觉去访问他。 我是得到佛的那个特别的好像是感应，我在天空上面看见一个白光，白光上面有一个云彩。因为我家里我母亲是信佛的，我就不太清楚这个东西，我就问那个副社长是什么东西，他说这个是佛光，那么要去问一问宣化上人这是什么东西，跟请他解释一下。那么那个到之后以后呢，我也到拜了，回来以后呢，今天我请问师傅啊，宣化上人这是什么？他说这是佛光，所以我觉得呢，我有一个很好的任务呢。是我自己本人呢，因为是学科学的，所以今天我就到这里来了，我也有个很好的任务，能够完成一些事情需要我做的呢，我愿意与大家在一起，能够得到那个佛的号召，这方面呢能够完成有一些事情我自己一个愿望。好，谢谢各位，谢谢。Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time that I have visited this 10,000 Buddha cities. For my family, this is the first time I visit. My family, my mother is a Buddhist. I was born outside of China and educated in English as a British before I immigrated to this country for 30-some years. And I have heard, being a person of science, that I also as MD, and I study acupuncture, oriental medicine, and I also have a political certain activities at the Bush administration, and I hope doing something to be able to help the mankind, not just the politics of people. So therefore, before I visit this 10,000 Buddha city, I was visiting this school of Central News. And I just saw the sky, that the very first thing in the morning, I drove out from Stanford, that east side, and I saw a bright sky, a rainbow type of a real shining light in front of me before I get on 101. And with the lights, and today right in front of me, I see that the aura, we call that. So I told Miss Fu and I told Master Shenhua, and what is a light mean? He said that is a Buddhist. Buddha light of Buddhism. So I think it's a time for me to understand today that I should get in touch with God. Whatever you use a Buddha or whatever you use a term. And so for this many years, I don't think I did find myself until today. So I'm very proud to be here to share the happiness with everybody. And I think I should go and study a little bit more and distribute myself not as a selfish person, but I should distribute myself to work for the best of the mankind. Thank you.
以上影音由法界佛教总会中文网站制作，我们的网址是 www.drbachinese.org， 我们的电子邮箱地址是 website_info@drbachinese.org。